Will everyone please rise for the platform party?
Good morning. Welcome to Bellevue University Spring 2022 Commencement. Please stay standing. We will start our program with the national anthem sung by Liz Pettinger.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, Deacon Lee Mahan will provide our invocation.
God of all faiths, we rejoice and are thankful for all of Bellevue University's graduates and students, family members, friends and guests, members of the board of directors, President Hawkins, deans, administrators, faculty, and staff. We know that our journey to this graduation day was not easy. God, you threw us a curve when the COVID arrived, and with your help, we persevered. We know that we had help from earthly sources. We thank all the members of our family and friends and the members of the Bellevue University family for their time, energy, support, and love that helped bring us here today. Most of all, we thank you, God, for your grace gave us the strength, courage, and persistence to reach this graduation day. We thank you, God, for surely you're with us here today and always. Let us be forever grateful to you. Amen.
Thank you, Liz and Deacon Mahan. You may be seated. As I introduce the names of the members of our board of directors, I ask each member to stand and then hold your applause until we've introduced all of them. Start with Mr. Fred Hunziker, the chair of our board, Mr. Javier Fernandez, Ms. Diva Mejias, Mr. Hong Zhen, Mr. Keith Edquist, and Ms. Gail Seaton. Thank you. I'm going to make Javi stand again. I want to introduce our speakers for today. The student speaker is Ms. Ashley Rodriguez, and our commencement speaker is Mr. Javier Fernandez. I also want to introduce members of Bellevue University administration who are here today. Dr. Rebecca Murdoch, Dr. Matt Davis, Dr. Mary Dobransky, Dr. Michelle Epler, Ms. Sherry Hutcherson, Mr. Rick Cook, Dr. James Smith, and Mr. James Nakuda. Thank you. And of most importance to the graduates and students in the audience, on the stage are our distinguished faculty whom I would ask to stand and be recognized. I also want to thank and recognize the Plymouth Brass musicians who start and end our program. This morning, we would like to take a moment to show our gratitude and appreciation for those who serve our country. Bellevue University has proudly added red, white, and blue military service recognition cords to our academic attire. These cords represent veterans or current service members of our armed forces. We would like to invite all of our graduates, board members, faculty, staff, and audience members who have served or are serving in the United States Armed Forces to rise and accept our thanks for your dedication and service. An important tradition at Bellevue University is to select a student from the graduating class to speak on behalf of the graduates. Students are nominated by faculty, staff, and fellow students. Students compete for the honor, and the faculty selects by ballot the person they believe best represents the graduating class. Today, our student speaker, Ashley Rodriguez, is definitely on the move and definitely representative of this class. She's a U.S. Air Force veteran, a mother, a working adult learner, a first-generation college student, and already a Bellevue University alumni. Today, she graduates with a Master of Business and Professional Communication degree. Ashley's story, which you will hear, is one of persistence, of time and again encountering obstacles on her learning journey and her path to earning a degree, and time and again pushing through and overcoming those obstacles. From the start of her journey until today, she's lived overseas, had 3 children, taught her children at home during the pandemic, attended 4 different universities, and successfully completed an internship at the Bellevue University Military Vet Center. She recently accepted a full-time position at Bellevue University, and we're so pleased to have her as a member now of our staff. She's the project coordinator for our mental health and clinical counseling program, and we are proud to call her an alumni and a member of our staff. Her message today is an important one, finding motivation, and in that process, inspiring others to embrace their full potential. Ashley has a lot of family members here today, and I wish to recognize her parents, her children, her husband, her brothers, and her in-laws. Thank you for joining us today. Now, will all of us please welcome Ashley Rodriguez.
Thank you. Composure. Okay. President Hawkins, Board of Directors, Executive Committee, faculty, staff, graduating class of 2022, friends, family, and guests, welcome. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ashley Rodriguez, and I'm pretty sure that we all have a story at Bellevue University. A story of support when we needed it, of guidance when we didn't have any, or of motivation when we lost ours, probably somewhere between midterms and finals. My story at Bellevue University started even before I was a student here. If we were to rewind time all the way back to the final term of my graduate degree, you would see me at my breaking point. After a decade of 8 military moves on 3 different continents and attending 4 different universities, I was in my final term to graduate. But my eager anticipation was shattered. Picture this, it is spring of 2020. Of the pandemic is our reality. I have a husband overseas for a year, 3 small children who went from learning their ABCs to learning how to attend elementary Zoom meetings, and the last credit I need is an internship. So I called up my academic advisor, I explained my situation, and he said, "Oh wow, that's rough. I wish you the best. Have you considered graduating in the winter term?" Did I mention I was using the military benefits I received for going to school as income? I was about 2 Google searches away from researching the proper way to wallow in self-pity, when instead, I stumbled upon the number for the Bellevue University Military Veterans Service Center. And my only inquiry was, can you help me find an internship that has the flexibility that all of these uncertain times require? So they asked me to come down to their campus, and honestly, I expected more surface reassurance about how unfortunate my situation was, which would have been really difficult to hear with the huge grins that were on the director and manager's faces. They asked me what the requirements were of my internship and said, we can work with that. They told me what their requirements were, and they asked if I wanted to do my internship there. I was beaming. I was so proud. I maybe even strutted a little bit as I walked across the stage on time, August of 2020, as the first college graduate of my family. And rather than let my anxiety fester about what I was going to do for employment, I turned to the Bellevue University staff for guidance. And you know what they said? Have you ever considered getting your graduate degree? If I would have been drinking something, I would have just accidentally spewed it all over them. I had worked very long and very hard to obtain what I thought was unobtainable. I did not have the courage to allow myself to climb higher. I was standing at the finish line and these people were asking me to race again, or so it felt. My bewilderment was met with information. They explained how I could extend my military benefits. It would give the world time to calm down, my baby's time to adjust, and my husband time to come home. Just think about it, they said. Well, obviously, I enrolled in Bellevue University. I started to wear more purple and gold, and I even began as a work study. And this would have been a great time to end my speech and thank Bellevue University. However, the Bellevue University culture has a habit of not just wanting to educate their students, but to transform them into successful adults, to get them into the workforce, and to not let their journey end at a temporary finish line. Fast forward with me now to spring of 2022, just a few months ago, and I found myself in my final term of my graduate degree. Again, focused, very tunnel visioned on what I needed to do to suffice those remaining credits and fill the stage under my feet again. And this is where my testimony really takes flight. My manager, my superior, my role model, Heather, told me about that little button at the bottom of the Bellevue University homepage called Employment. Within 2 weeks, I went from work study to staff member. My superior became my peer, and I hope that within my time here, I can become a role model for somebody who thinks their finish line is the end, so that I can experience the wonder of letting them know it's only the beginning of what comes next. But graduates, I know, this is a time of change, to reflect on being a student and to honor the sacrifices that we've made to be able to graduate today. And it's something that we're going to look back on as the end of a journey, because it's easier to rejoice in the glory of completion than it is to put our anticipation in the future of new beginnings and out of uncertainty. And we do need a moment to relish and savor and enjoy our accomplishments of today. But do not forget to look up, because this finish line is the start of another race. And spoiler alert, you're gonna win. Even if roadblocks slow you down, no matter your speed or the distance, and even if your path changes, you can still move forward. Ready? And the louder that your support cheers from the crowd. Thanks, support team. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, I still gotta talk. Thank you, support team. The more that victory, whatever that next victory looks like for you, will be waiting for you at that finish line, as I hope you're looking up to the next race. But wait. Research deems, and probably every Speech 101 class demands, that you put a quote in your speech to really cement that memorable lesson. And because I know a skinny girl on stage talking about running is the exact thing I would zone out to, here it is. The words of Dean Karnazes: run when you can, walk if you have to, crawl if you must, just never give up. And listen, as cliche as it is to never give up, the undeniable power that awakens our persistence in those most critical moments where we almost fail to see the scope of our potential is, I believe, as equally as important as our ability to gift that power to those who are surrounding us. I'd like to let you in on a personal confession of mine. I am, in fact, an emotional eater with a very fast metabolism, and I crave cheesecake or cinnamon rolls way more than I crave exercise, especially cardio. In fact, I would rather stay up all night cramming for finals every day for a week than imagine what it would feel like to push myself to run a marathon or to run around the block or any distance in between. But as I stand here today, exhausted from running on fumes, drained from devouring a forest full of textbooks, Don't worry, the eco-friendly Kindle version types, of course. But nonetheless, completely fatigued from the relentless fleet of deadlines that I have had to endure, I know that even if I don't believe that I could do this all over again, there are people out there who see the potential in me to do even more. And so finally, I'll leave you with this. Remember, if you see somebody standing at their own finish line, looking down at their temporary mark of completion, will you please remind them, motivate them, better yet, inspire them to look up, because their next race is about to begin. So on your marks, get set, good luck. Thank you.
If that's Ashley's energy level exhausted, I cannot wait to see when she's full power. Thank you, Ashley. No matter where your journey begins, you have the power to change the trajectory of your life. Our commencement speaker today, Javier Fernandez, is proof of that. He was born and grew up in Mexico, but 21 years ago, he left his home country, adopted the United States as his own, and fully embraced the American dream. Today, as president and CEO of Omaha Public Power District, Mr. Fernandez leads the state's largest public electric utility and serves more than 850,000 customers located across southeastern Nebraska. In an industry where growth and learning are constants, Mr. Fernandez has helped the utility, its 1,800 employees, and its customers navigate times of crisis, including natural disasters and the COVID-19 pandemic. Outside of OPPD, he shares his passions and talents as a board member for Habitat for Humanity, the Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce, the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, Omaha branch, and Bellevue University. With him today is his beautiful daughter, Lucia. Please offer a warm welcome to Mr. Javier Fernandez.
Thank you. What a wonderful day it is. Buenos días y felicidades a todas las familias de los graduados. Good morning and congratulations, families of graduates. We are here this morning to honor and congratulate over 670 graduates who will soon join more than 59,000 Bellevue University graduates worldwide. My name is Javier Fernandez, and I am an immigrant. I am also a son, a husband, a father to 4 wonderful children. And as Mary said, by professional title, I am the president and CEO of the Omaha Public Power District. And I have the honor of serving on the board of directors for Bellevue University. Exactly 22 years ago, I remember packing my life into 2 suitcases and making sure I had everything I needed to begin my new life, embracing the American dream in this wonderful and blessed country. However, my journey started a few years later. As the oldest son of a middle-income family, I had to study really hard to earn the scholarships needed for me to attend a private and bilingual school in Mexico City. My parents sacrificed everything they had so my sisters and I could have access to the most valuable thing they could provide: education at any cost and at any sacrifice. I was blessed by a loving family and parents who raised me to love God, to love my family, and love my community in that order. This education is what allowed me to eventually attend college in Mexico City, graduate with a degree in economics, and get my first job working as an analyst at an import-export bank in Mexico City. This job led me to study the relatively recent phenomenon of specialty coffee that was booming in the US in the 1980s. Starbucks, anyone? What struck me the most back then was the ingenuity of the American entrepreneurial spirit that figured out how to make an otherwise boring and mundane beverage like coffee into a specialized and differentiated product that supports the multi-billion-dollar coffee industry we know today. Ingenuity. The Spanish translation for the word naive is ingenuo, ingenious. I have been called naive many times in my life. I prefer to think of myself as ingenious, clever, original, and inventive. One of the times I was called naive was when I shared my dream of getting my MBA at Yale University with my Mexican friends. They all laughed. A few years later, I was sitting in a similar spot as all of you are sitting here today, in the United States of America, the most prosperous and amazing country in the world, about to walk on stage to receive my MBA diploma from Yale. This was the beginning of my American journey, which has brought me here to share my story with you today on this joyous Saturday morning. The evening of March 1st, 2000, my mom collapsed at home. Without any warning of previous medical history, a ruptured brain aneurysm caused a severe hemorrhagic stroke. She spent many days in the ICU where doctors were waiting for her brain swelling to improve so they could perform surgery. While waiting for the swelling to come down, she had another massive stroke. The doctors told us they had to perform emergency surgery and that the chances of survival were a mere 2%. They briefly woke my mom from her induced coma, and I was allowed in the room for a few minutes. While I found the courage to speak and say what I thought was going to be the final goodbye, she opened her eyes and asked me what day it was. I answered, and her immediate response was, "Isn't today your Yale interview?" I was in the middle of applying to graduate school when this whole thing had happened. I had zero mental ability to think of anything other than the fact that my mom was about to die at the hospital. Yet my mom, in her hospital bed, did what moms always do: put the children first. I quickly responded, "Ma, yo voy a la entrevista, tú vas a la operación y nos vemos aquí al rato. Mom, I'll go to the interview. You go to your surgery, and we'll see each other here again later tonight." She eventually recovered, miraculously, and is living her normal life today. I eventually graduated, and now I have the privilege of leading a group of almost 2,000 people who provide energy services to 850,000 people in Southeast Nebraska, becoming one of only a few Hispanic CEOs now leading large Nebraska companies. Unequivocally, my mom and dad are one of the main reasons I am standing here today. Now, I know my experience is not unique. Graduates, look around. Somewhere in this room, there are loved ones who played a key role in your success and who came today to celebrate you. Before we continue celebrating you, graduates, let's take a moment to celebrate them, your parents, grandparents, spouses, children, cousins, and friends, without whose help you may not be sitting here today. To your families and friends. To obtain the unobtainable. People may have called you naive when you told them about your plans to enroll at Bellevue University. Some of you probably already had a family to take care of, a full-time job, or financial barriers to achieve this dream. Naive or ingenious, creative, entrepreneurial. Angela Duckworth, in her book Grit, defines it as a passion and sustained persistence applied toward long-term achievement with no particular concern for rewards or recognition along the way. Just a few minutes ago, you heard from one of your fellow students, Ashley Rodriguez. Her story and the story of the other 670-ish graduates gathered here today, it's a great example of grit, perseverance, and the embodiment of the American spirit to work hard and honor your community in all the different fields you have chosen. Growing up and studying American history in my high school in Mexico City, I vividly remember falling in love with the language in the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Today, 22 years after migrating into this country, these truths ring just as true to me as they did back then in my classroom in Mexico City. However, now I can start weaving a thread on the purpose I have as a public servant at the Omaha Public Power District. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are a cleaner world that gives life, knowledge and economic prosperity that enables liberty, and in my particular case, the pursuit of reliable electricity that enables happiness, a powerful triad. I am blessed with a wonderful family and a job that allows me to give back to this amazing country that adopted me many years ago. I am blessed that I have found purpose at work. Without the electricity we generate and deliver, our lives would not be the same. We help hospitals bring life. Others provide public safety, potable water, telecommunications. I see a lot of your phones. I saw a lot of selfies earlier today. You had to charge those phones at some point with the electric power we provide. The work I do and the work that 2,000 people at the Omaha Public Power District do matters. Now, the work that I do and the purpose that I found, it hasn't been this way all the time. I had to work really hard to find my true calling and find purpose at work. I have one piece of advice and one request from you today. My advice is to look for purpose in everything you do. This morning, we have graduates in clinical counseling, mental health counseling, cybersecurity, data science, healthcare management, human resources, strategic management, industrial and organizational psychology, supply chain, transportation, logistics. You may already have or will soon find jobs to apply your new skills. My advice is seek purpose in every job you take. And my request is to never stop seeking. Never stop dreaming that you have a purpose in this world and that this world is counting on you to make it a better place. I will finish with a reflection attributed to Uruguayan journalist Eduardo Galeano, which is a favorite reflection of mine. It says, utopia lies at the horizon. When I draw nearer by 2 steps, it retreats 2 steps. If I proceed 10 steps forward, it swiftly slips 10 steps ahead. No matter how far I go, I can never reach it. So what then is the purpose of utopia? It is that, my friends, it is that, graduates, to inspire us to advance. Congratulations, Bellevue University graduates class of 2022.
I know yesterday at open house, when I met some of the students and shared with you the powerful speakers we had today, you've now seen that. Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. We're so honored to have you on the board, have you part of our community and our state, and we are so pleased to have your message today. Thank you. And now we will begin the conferral of degrees and recognition of our graduates. Would Mr. Fred Hunsaker please come forward? Will the graduates please rise? Director Hunsaker, I have the honor on behalf of the faculty of the university and myself to present to you and the board of directors these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for designated Bellevue University degrees.
Thank you, Dr. Hawkins. By virtue of the chartered power granted by the state of Nebraska to the Bellevue University Board of Directors, and by reason of recommendation from the president and the faculty of Bellevue University, be it known to all those present on behalf of and in the name of the Board of Directors, I hereby confer the designated degrees upon the candidates, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Graduates, you may be seated. Will Dr. Michelle Epler please come forward to present the graduate degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences? Will Ms. Gail Seaton please come forward to present diplomas?
Elizabeth Ann Ambrose. Chaz Joseph Lopez. James G. Rafalski. Ashley Rodriguez. Jennifer Scheidler. Joni A. Spence. Minerva Aguera Briones. Andrea Lasha Foster. Karen K. Jackson. Kavani Deshay Johnson. Edna Annette Marshall. Renee Lynn F. Parker. Marianne Watson. Michelle Denise Watts Avila. Brittany Julisa Amisquita. Chelsea K. Batters. Stefania Bowles. Penny Burt. Rebecca Douglas. Aaliyah Dunbar. Joseph Omar Evans. Samantha Jennifer Reed. Sharika Antoinette Gardner. Sharika Antoinette Gardner. Amanda Rochelle Hagagorn. Wendy Renee Hansen. Lindsay Kathleen Hunter. Cassandra I. Lemieux. Brittany M.K. Martinez. Kimberly Rochelle Parker. Sean Ray Rasmussen. Madison Skibble. Alicia Yvonne Suttles. Jennifer Marie Sweet. Robin Marie Vanderveen. Cheyenne Sierra Akes. Dylan Borer. Tierra L. Carter. Edward Burton Davis. Caitlin Deliside. Jennifer Lynn Franco. Darcy Jo Garrity. Valea Lushan Consnyder. Allison Noel Leach. Claire Elizabeth McFreely. Rachel Olson. Jenny Isaura Portillo. Marcelo Dave Velasquez. Rachel Smiley Zeller. Tammy Lynn Lilty. Mady Michelle Griffey. Dorothy Lenora Johnson. Sophie K. Truax. Jeremy Acton. Kate Bauer. Karen L. Zizek. Michael Zizek. Ashley Drake. John Christian Forney. Kathy Aline Harvey. Rachel Schroeder. Heather Renee Thole. Jasmine Vance. Jeremy B. Wright. Amelia M. Fenn. This concludes the graduate degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences. Thank you, Ms. Seaton. You may be seated. To present the graduate degrees from the College of Business, I call forward Dr. Rebecca Murdoch, Dean of the College. Will Ms. Diva Mejias please come forward to present diplomas?
Andrew J. Koslow. Kimberly Ann Schmidt. Kotsi Siati. Farisha Afifi. Jordan A. Allen. Mark Armstrong. Nicole Danielle Birdsong. Brandon Allen Bach. Rachel Amanda Charles. Charles Allen Cooper Jr. Chad DeSanto. Gabrielle Senyung Pong. Diego Garcia. Golnoza Hassanzoda. Praveen Gangadhar. Alexander Jarvis. Lorinda Johnson. Jake Kadeski. Mindy K. Lang. Joseph Benjamin Lazar. Gregory Lewis. Manchester Magtabe. Jake Marr. Tori Miller. Dorothy Mutum. Kia Newbie Knight. Megan J. Partim. Casey Ryan Pruitt. Sweeta Ranjan. Christine Schaff. Tyler T. Schmidt. Hannah Seeley Reyes. Tamala Brianne Shepherd. Vaidi Siva Kumaran. Ariana Sainange. Tara Guerrera Taituno. Rebecca Taylor. Alan Timosina. Tui Tran. Megan Nicole Eicherman. Reza Jafar Juma. Andrea Lynn Miller. Samantha Jo Nymeth. Danielle Vargas. Jeff Windeshausen. Thank you, Ms. Mejias. You may be seated. Will Mr. Rick Cook please come forward to present diplomas? Gail Regina Wright. Rachel L. Elsasser. Marianne Elizabeth Holcomb. Kristen Lee Calhoff. Shauna Canope. Baganda Kwate. Michelle Lee Miller. Deirdre A. Mister. Lesom Bediz Elodie Ohang. Magdalena Tan. Brittany Morgan Williams. Shenyang. Joel Basie. Treya Brittany Ann Denaire Bowden. Esther Wambi Dungu. Candace Renee Vermeulen. Rosie Jasmeet Arias. Rachel Kingfisher. Maris Karina Kingfisher. Susan Lynn Kidd. Andrew D. McQuillan. Catherine L. O'Brien. Kelly Wilson. Kelly Schroeder. Nicole Lynn Brown. Kelly K. Fraser. Christina Murray. Samantha Myers. Mary E. Wigand. Madeline E. Haas. Dennis James Hoffmeyer. Patrick Culler. Gregory David Brown. Andrew Joseph Cook. This concludes the graduate degrees in the College of Business. Thank you, Mr. Cook. You may be seated. To present the graduate degrees from the College of Science and Technology, I call forward Dr. Mary Dobransky, Dean of the College. Will Mr. Hong Zhang please come forward to present diplomas?
Baldwin St. Patrick Dice. Deepti Adagada. Khaldoon Al-Yassin. Robert Alexander Bechtold. James David Deely. Susie L. Dupay. Laura Hess. Ernest Phillips III. Jason Eugene Staley. Abdullo Abdullayev. Michelle Haney. Christian R. Knott. Blanca Ostorga. Thomas Stephen Palinkas. Christina Lynn Paul. Alyssa C. Roberts. Jake Simmons. Kirby C. Vaughn. Ismat Zarin. Carla Bradley. Eric Dickey. Tricia K. Gurmas. McKinley Harlett. Vasanta Kumar Kalakovan. Kalaivani Kalyalasundram. Venkata Sandeep Kanapati. Ramsey King. Ajit Kolikar. Shilpa Kolikar. Michael Robert Lose. Abhijit Mandal. Ramizuddin Mohammed Shabuddin. Ganesh Kumar Matasamy. Cameron Pick. Mark A. Riley. Ashraf Safsafi. Jonathan D. Scroggins. Saurabh Shrestha, Meg Sindiam, Veronica Warren, Jesse Zamora, Michael Kenneth Zuha, Kara Marie Bradley, Ronald R. Jones, Danae Jones, Famine Beda, Swati Boka, Ajmita G. Raj, Ihan Ma, Satya Monica Mani, Kristen S. Pruitt, Saru Rai, Wendy Ann Staley, Abby Mary Leifstead, Christopher J. Ryder, Haley Elaine Stevens, Alexis Selena Martinez, Megan Pauline Wietrick, Kevin Pollock, Murad Hamdad, Anthony James Gowan, Pavitra Gedipudi, Christina F. Madrid. This concludes the graduate degrees in the College of Science and Technology. Thank you, Mr. Zhang. You may be seated.
Now we will recognize those receiving their undergraduate degrees, beginning with Dr. Michelle Epler from the College of Arts and Sciences. Will Dr. James Smith please come forward to present diplomas?
Allison Marie Abernathy. Cyan Rashawn Jamise Chapman. Jaleesa Audrey Dalton. Denisha R. Hinton. Brittany Lee Jackson. Edna Erlene Johnson. Michaela L. Jones. Michelle N. McGuire. Christopher Joseph McAllister. Jennifer L. McLean. Melissa S. McCormick, cum laude. Michael Wayne Miller. Ariel D. Parsons. Melissa M. Paul. Dina K. Perney. Megan Ryan, summa cum laude. Kelly Marie Toro. Miranda L. Ewing. Jacqueline Lina Basser. Robin M. Wilkins. Stephanie Arroyo Garcia. Paige Hildebrand. Elena Marie McCarty with distinction. Arlene Nahara. Maya Gabriela Abando Townsend, magna cum laude. Rachel Nicole Sliva. Jason Colbert. Nicholas McCormick with distinction. Blanca Jasmine Mian with distinction. Andrew Baden House. Brandon James Hauser. Alexandria Eileen Glacken with distinction. Evan Mackey. Andrew T. Wilkinson. Caitlin McKinley Arredondo. Brian Bubas. Ashley Clark. Kylie Danielle Alexander. Miriam Vasquez Guzman. Crystal R. Jones. Miko Angel Milligan. Marissa R. Wilson-Ham. Nathan Allaire, summa cum laude. Taylor Jane Arciaga. Yabo Beradath Belo. McKenna Lee Brown. Lauren Ray Caesar. Holly Cole. Miranda Rose Hatcher, magna cum laude. Lorelei Ann Hayden. Myra Vanessa Mena. Elizabeth McGill Riley, cum laude. Gavin Paul Geppert. Elijah Johnson. Jory Michelle Mahalani Lincoln, cum laude. Joshua Michael Meyer. Vaj McClure Rice. Robert Hayden Williamson. Harry Ray. Alex Zillig with distinction. This concludes the undergraduate degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences. Thank you, Dr. Smith. You may be seated. Will Dr. Rebecca Murdoch come to the podium to call forward those receiving their undergraduate degree from the College of Business? Will Mr. Fred Hunsinger please come forward to present diplomas?
Amanda Grimes with distinction. Sean Vincent Higgins. Joshua Kyle. Sean Lee. Krista Lukens. Megan Angelina Montez. Jessica Ivy Pearson. Clarissa Lois Rose Ruth, summa cum laude. Gerald Scott. Alexander Lewis Stewart. Logan Christian Bell. Chris Blanchard. Mary Teresa Brewer. Leah Denise Bullock. Justin Neil Burns. Nicholas Andreas Casos. Jessica Marie Corrado. Kevin Criddle. Jillian Dather. Jade Duckworth, cum laude. Lacey Eddy. Garrison Estrada. Richard Fluke Jr. with distinction. Brianna Lynn Gomez. Kimberly Andrea Gonzalez. Amber Dawn Harden. Kale Jacob Lavick. Iona A. Kent. Dominic Conchalo. Samantha M. Coble. Amy Kapersky. Paige Malley. Billy McGinley. Kelsey Marion Maharj. Cole Tyler Mossman, summa cum laude. Zaira Lizeth Navarrete. Matthew Newsome with distinction. Craig Thomas Nielsen. Sherry Lynn Norton. Aleda Edith Oliveras Laguna. Leonard J. Palmisano. Maribel Palomino Gomez. Antoine Pearson Sr. Michelle Angelique Pettiford Hinton. Kirsten Ryan Ramirez. Morgan Marie Roller. Jody Schonefeld. Jessica Marie Sudbeck. Nathan Suver-Kirby. Damian Thompson. Megan Rochelle Tecido. Jerry Landon Walford. Megan Elizabeth Weeks. Isaiah Bates. Sienna Darrell Black, summa cum laude. Alex Swenson Moore, cum laude. Marisela Ruth Egan, summa cum laude. Lace Giovanna Freitas. Paige Catherine Hayes. Itzel Hernandez, summa cum laude. Ashley Hughes. Mark Allen Lau. Jonathan Price. Emily Rochford with distinction. Laura Lees Roman Castro. Marcelia Silva Loges. Malia Turner. Federico Sergio Mani Oranki with distinction. Joshua Vaughn with distinction. Tung Bao Dan Vu. Kelsey Madison Arnold. Anna Karen Mendez Rivera. Eric Pierce Jr. Kelsey Marie Baker. Veronica Boutel. Adam Demetrius Cox with distinction. Gorivel Cruz. Omar Isa Abba. Patti Lissaragra. Sarah Michelle Mayen. Julie Ann Mayer Walford. Heather L. McCoy. Colette N. Miras. Chelsea Moses, cum laude. Jermaine Movie. Adam O'Brien. Amanda Joy Rothley. Christine Soriano Scott. Rebecca S. Tamayo. Anthony Joseph Tomlinson. Olivia Nicole Churchill. Sean Dalton. Emily M. Rivera, magna cum laude. Maureen May Russell. Chris Yangling Chen. Mai Ching Yi. Jason K. Degis. Ryan Andrew Fitz. Felicia Frederick. Julia Roy. David Considine, summa cum laude. Alexander Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Rachel Ann Salazar. Brandon Noah Stout. Thank you, Mr. Hunziker. You may be seated. Will Ms. Sherry Hutcherson please come forward to present diplomas? Leticia Barahona. Letice D. Blackstone. Brittany Borkart. Amber Deanna Durr. David Gonzalez. Juanit S. Hall with distinction. Henry Janinga Jr. cum laude. Kamara Patrice Johnson. Michelle Johnson. Tyler Mills. Francine Higgins. Tina Lewis. Shelby Nicole Leszewski. Jessica Lobello. Marissa Marasco. Sharona Lynn Penns. Michelle Robertson. Carol Rosalie Von I. Tom Garrett. Hannah Marie Rose Miller. Chirikai, cum laude. Zhenqin Ling with distinction. Shiva Wei, summa cum laude. Yushen Yang. Puyi Chiwingi, cum laude. Shi Jiazhou. Anthony K. Cruz, cum laude. Jillian Nicole DeRosa Grande, summa cum laude. Jennifer Duckworth. Joseph Martin Nathaniel Guidry. Talahatu Habib, cum laude. Jeremy Hall. Jacob W. Kelly, summa cum laude. Tatiana Lockhart. Wesley Allen Long, cum laude. Rahul Martinez with distinction. Courtney F. McNesby. Yao Solomon Mensa. Deanna Nagel, cum laude. Josh Peak, cum laude. Megan Louise Purvis, summa cum laude. Rebecca J. Reed. Miriam Y. Solis. Fraz Ahmed Sayed, summa cum laude. Marley Gray Tolbert. This completes the undergraduate degrees from the College of Business. Thank you, Ms. Hutcherson. You may be seated. Will Dr. Matt Davis come to the podium to call forward those receiving their undergraduate degree from the College of Continuing and Professional Education? Will Mr. James Nakuda please come forward to present diplomas?
Carlos Humberto Acosta. Megan Aldinger. Devanis Donaldson. Marisa Drake. April Marie Eli. Kipsy Factor Garibo. Brandon James Glotfelty. Amy Elizabeth Hardy. Katie Herting. Joellen Kimbrough, Chad Michael Matzner, Brandy Ruth Moore, Kelly Ann Newman, Morgan Ann Novark, Borhan Omar, Kristen Burt Sohn, summa cum laude, Karina Tronsu, Patrick Adolphson, Gloria Emiliana Bruch, magna cum laude, Nathaniel Casher III, Caitlin Claremont, Jesse F. Clippinger, Luis Angel Gonzalez, Daniel Harris, Sinaya Hernandez Meeks, Shelley Jean Marie Howell, Melody Ikaguchi, summa cum laude. Stephen Michael Johnson, magna cum laude. Laura S. Krogstad, Robert A. Nolan, Casey Lynn Parker, John Scott Perry, magna cum laude. Alvin James Tatino Sanchez, Stacy Shore with distinction, Malisha Story, cum laude. Edgar Granada, Trevor Nelson, magna cum laude. This concludes the undergraduate degrees in the College of Continuing and Professional Education. Thank you, Mr. Nakuda. You may be seated. Will Dr. Mary Dobransky come to the podium to call forward those receiving their undergraduate degree from the College of Science and Technology? And will Mr. Javier Fernandez please come forward to present diplomas?
Down, Kim. Nina Patel. Matthew C. Green. Ajay Chaudhary with distinction. Jennifer Shayla Faith. Theodore Louis Gazda. Mario Girgiev Ivanov. Dixon Kibet Kiptu. Benjamin Francis Liu. Jason David Morris, summa cum laude. Aaron Jacob Newton. John Claude Niubuntu. Catherine Ann Williamson, summa cum laude. Lizette Alarcon Martinez. Caitlin Altick. Braden W. Beal. Brianne Church. JC Khalees Dundee. Ryan J. Fisher with distinction. Ashley Ann Greedy. Hannah Grace Johnson with distinction. Araceli Martinez. Aaron McManus, magna cum laude. Michael P. Mosier with distinction. Peter Neen. Hannah Marie Peterson. Emma Grace Phillipson. James Christopher Wanquillo, cum laude. Emily Marie Simpson. Julia Antonio Starr. Zaira L. Torres Gonzalez. Neil Decker Webb. Claire Wiegert. Denise M. Arroyo Mercado. Anani Biosi Ai. J.W. Callinger. Greg Collins Jr. Jesse Cutright. Ryan Craig Edmondson, summa cum laude. Evan Griffiths. Doug Harwood with distinction. Edward Hernandez. Jarrett Ledger. Andrew Lithgow. Austin Allen Rios. Caitlin Rothman. Angel Sanchez. Wendiam Alex August Sawadogo. Brenda Renee Visich. Jared R. Warta. Christopher Matthew Harry Williams, summa cum laude. Artemis Ember Smith. Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. You may be seated. Will Mr. Keith Edquist please come forward to present diplomas? Monica LaShawn Bell. Amelia Gomez. Kirsten Heron with distinction. Madison Claire Olson. Lily Prince Howell. Jasmine Desiree Raming, magna cum laude. Megan Celeste Raymond. Jesse Graham. Angela M. Grimes. Laura Marie Jurek, cum laude. Ashton Beth Lammers. Emma Lee Maas. Kadisha Maldonado. Daisy Ochoa Rojas. Skylar Nicole Page. Caitlin Scores. Holly Caroline Graham. Jonathan Edward Hurd Gregory. Taryn Griffiths with distinction. Gilbert Martin, magna cum laude. Sasha Thomas, magna cum laude. Cryan Cody Baleares. Carly Rose Daniel. Rigo Duarte. Raymond Lathrop with distinction. Ashante Brown. Deborah Peter. Pamela Rodriguez. Maddie Rooney. Cassandra Dreyer. Rachel Heitkamp Osborne. Charles William Patterson. Mark Fleet Jr., summa cum laude. Tyler Aaron George. Zachary Hartman Lau. Brittany May Hillis. Trevor D. Martin. Gail Lynn Meadows, magna cum laude. Trenton Cody Rankin, magna cum laude. Levi Schreck. Lacey Nicole Mary Thomas. Brandon L. Zamacona. Amy Marie Hansen. Chantrielle Tillman, cum laude. Joshua S. Caniglia. Brian Goodmanson. Ricardo Gigen Vergara. Caleb Master Monaco, summa cum laude. Cayman Trey McCain. Vincent Moore. Kadga Tapa. Tuazamate Tuazama. Daniel Wolda Georgi. Lauren Joan Huckabee. Koki Charles Ahanklo. Terrence Scott Galamison. Teresa Lopez. Donald T. Plowman. Arlix Sorto. Carrie Ann Moses, magna cum laude. Taya Lene Pankey. Melanie Van Acker. Peyton Marie Farringer. Janelle Schultz. Ryan Arklin. Maria Shaco. Samuel Virgil Schmacher. Haley Elizabeth Plachek. Charisse Strandness, summa cum laude. Jennifer Rose Kane. Carol Saunders. Bailey Marie Stewart with distinction. Alanya J. Hannigan. Simon Falcon. Emily Virgin Lint. Brittany Nicole Ogborn, high honors. Unique Shanae Atwater. This concludes the undergraduate degrees in the College of Science and Technology. Thank you, Mr. Edquist. You may be seated.
All right, graduates. I'll ask you to please rise. Reverse your tassels. Congratulations. You may be seated. Graduates, you will define the value of your education. You take the knowledge and values of teamwork, responsibility, ethics, and citizenship to make the world a better place to live. Do not underestimate the power of education to change and improve lives and the influence you have on your families, workplace, and community. Please all stand as we close our ceremony with a benediction by Deacon Lee Mahan.
Before we go our separate ways, let us pray to the God of all faiths for the deceased members of the Bellevue University family. And we especially remember Doug Riley, a longtime member of the Bellevue University Board of Directors who passed away this week. Dear God, we also ask you to give us the strength and courage to follow these words of advice from Mother Teresa. People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you're honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Give the best you have and will never be enough. Give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. May our lives be a blessing to all. Amen.